Peace and welcome to all of my beautiful crown heads. Please take this time out right now to like the video, share the video, subscribe, and most importantly, hit that beautiful notification bell. That way you guys are notified from when we go live in the future. All right? So tonight we have back our special guest, my beautiful husband, my chocolate, Eric Bell. He will be joining us for tonight's dope discussion. And we're going to be talking about toxic masculinity. I feel as though a lot of women have taken the term and are misusing it. They found a way to try to weaponize, in my opinion, what it is to be a man and turn it into something that is anti-woman. And I feel like it is having a negative impact on our relationships. And I wanted to have my husband to, join us to give his take on it. Because he said that in his live video that he had the other day, and if you're not subscribed to his channel, I will, list it down in the description box below. But he said that on his channel, somebody had brought up the term toxic masculinity. And so it just came to me, and so I was like, it's perfect. You should join our discussion then. So it's meant for us to talk about it, so we're going to be talking about it tonight. I see so far we have 125 of us. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, you guys, and make sure that you guys hit the notification bell. And let's get into tonight's dope discussion about toxic masculinity. Let me say, as a woman, first and foremost, that manhood is under attack, and I am aware of that. And to me, it's very much so hypocritical because a lot of the same women who are weaponizing manhood and what it is to be a man are the same women that are demanding for men to be the protectors, the men to be the leaders, the men to be the providers. And so they're going against the very thing that they are claiming that they want. But then the moment that they don't get it, it's like, well, men don't know how to be men anymore. And men, they don't know how to do anything. And where's all the masculine men? Well, when they're trying to be the masculine men that you're, asking for, you twist it and you try to misconstrue what it is to your benefit. And I don't feel like as women we should be doing that because, like I said, I feel like it is counterproductive and it's hypocritical for us to be out here attacking masculinity, but then complaining that there's no masculine men out there. What's your take on this?
All right, peace everybody. Before I dive into it, I want to make it clear that I'm not out here condoning toxic individuals. Like, we have toxic men out here. We have dudes out here that are just pure trash, that treat the women pure trash. We're not talking about those particular individuals. That's not typically what's associated with toxic masculinity. Mm-hmm. And then on the flip side of that, for the women that are out here abusing in that term, because that's what they are doing, I like to always go to that flip side and say, what about you women that are out here talking about you independent, you're a strong woman, and you don't need no man? That's toxic. And matter of fact, we let y'all have that moment. We didn't label that toxic. Matter of fact, we gave y'all the anthem. Who created the anthem? INDE. Who created that? That was a black man that gave y'all the anthem. So we let y'all have y'all moment. We gave y'all the anthem for that moment. We didn't label that toxic, although that is toxic to the black family structure.
It sure is.
We gave y'all the anthem for that. We let y'all roll. But the moment we start being proud black men, all of a sudden now we toxic. We can't even stand on our square, but we allowed y'all that moment to stand on y'all square. When y'all was independent, we gave y'all the anthem. We held y'all to this high regard and to this high esteem. We let y'all have that spotlight. We didn't bash y'all. But when we come out here and we talk about being proud black men, and we talking to these young boys and we telling them that's what a man should do, that's what a man should not do, then now we toxic. But you can poison the youth by saying men ain't this, that, and the third. Because because of your decisions, your past decisions. Choices. People that you have chosen, men that you have chosen. And now you poisoning the youth. That's toxic.
Right.
Me talking about being a proud black man and me establishing the roles or the role of a man, nothing is toxic about that. Absolutely nothing. So that's my little take on that before I start venting. But that's what I want to start off with. But
And I love that you went there because that is toxic. Why is it that when women are displaying characteristics of that, of I don't need a man, or I can do it by myself, and I don't need you, and I'm just this almighty being, why isn't that
that's called,
classified as
yeah,
toxic femininity?
that's considered strong. When we do it, it's toxic. So when we do it, it's toxic. When they do it, it's strong. It's strength. So we can't do that. When we do it, like I said, it's toxic. When a woman does it, strength. It's strong. And proud and rightfully so. When y'all do that, when you independent, when you're single, that is strength. You are strong. But then let us be proud black men. I know a lot of single fathers out here that's doing a fabulous job. But if they started to talk about that in the way that y'all talk about being an independent woman, y'all gonna label that man toxic. Y'all gonna call that man all type of negative nonsense. And I've seen that. So I know this not far-fetched. I've seen that. So let the man have his spotlight as well without y'all trying to intervene and call him toxic. That's not fair to that man. So it's like we in a lose-lose situation. Because if we don't stand on our square, then we weak.
Oh, big bars. Where my banner? Big bars. And this is why I'm saying it is hypocrisy. It's hypocritical for women to be out here talking about it's toxic for a man to lead. It's toxic for a man to stand his ground. It's toxic for a man to check his woman. And to me, checking your woman does not mean that you are being abusive towards her, or you're disrespecting her, or you're cursing her out, or calling her her name. It's just a matter of correcting the errors. Whenever a man steps up to the plate and corrects women, and if need be, all of a sudden that's toxic. But at the same time, we can come through and tell a man what he is, and tell a man what we're not going to do and what he should be doing, and that's not somehow deemed to be toxic. You know, when a man does it, it's controlling. When a woman does it, like my husband said, it's powerful. You know, I have strength. I'm strong. And I'm quite honestly, I'm tired of it. I really am. It's very hypocritical, and to me, it strips away the roles in our relationships. And I do feel like there are roles for both men and women in the relationships. You call me old school, whatever you want to say, it is what it is. I do feel like the man should be the lead. I don't feel like that's something that is reserved for the woman. I don't. And the fact of the matter is, it's a lot of women out here that feel like they're supposed to be the lead, and the man is never supposed to be the leader. But yet complain about men not taking control, or complain about having to carry the load and do everything. And like I said, I just don't understand that. I really don't. We complain about the very things that we play a major role in contributing to. We contribute to the men being quote unquote weak, but then we complain about no strong men. I don't know, my love. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, nobody is above correction. As we say, proper education always corrects errors. So nobody is above correction. That's man or woman. So if you wrong, you wrong. If you are committing an error, you should want to be corrected. So nobody is above correction. So we need to eliminate the ego from correction. Nobody is above that. We can all afford to be corrected when we are wrong, when we are in error. So nobody is above that. Secondly, what you talked about, there is no feeling in regards to there being roles. That's an actual fact. There are roles. It's teamwork, especially when you're talking about family. Family is a team. Man, woman, child, man, woman, children, man, woman, that's team. So again, everybody has to know their roles. When you know your roles, it makes the team move more efficiently. If you the Lakers and everybody think they LeBron James, then the team is not going to work as smoothly. But when you understand that that's LeBron James, and then my role is to shoot the three, then now your team moves more efficiently. So it's all teamwork. When everybody understands their roles, then that is what contributes to the success of a team. But when everybody has this big ego and think they are the star player, then you have problems. Dysfunction. That's why we have a lot of dysfunctional teams within the black community, because people are not understanding their roles, not accepting their roles, and don't even think roles exist. We got a role-less society, and that's not necessarily good. So ain't nothing negative about roles, and that's an actual fact. Roles will always exist.
But you know what, my love? What I really don't like is the fact that even, like, I love the analogy that you use as far as, like, basketball. Like, I'm not really familiar with, like, the positions and the plays and all of that. But let's just say the person that gets the rebound, whoever that person is, that role is not less significant than the one that, plays defense real good and makes all the 3-pointers. It's all needed. And to me, I feel like a lot of women have this mindset of, well, being the leader is the more powerful position, and me being the submissive, more nurturing role, that's weak. So hell no, I'm not gonna be submissive, and hell no, I'm not gonna be feminine, and hell no, I'm not gonna, listen to my man and do what's necessary on the back end, because that's qualified as weak. When we don't understand that the power is in us being submissive, the power is in us being the more nurturing, catering role, and listening and allowing the man to do what the man is supposed to do, which is provide and protect and nurture and teach and lead. You know what I mean? So I feel like we need to get out of the mindset of feeling like within those roles, one is greater or better than the other. They're both equally needed. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, and I got another build I want to.
Hold on. Before we go, my love, let's get to the donation. They gonna disappear. Thank you, Humble Warrior. He says, it's been a while, Queen Danica. I finally get to see your king. You two deserve each other. By the way, toxic masculinity is a term made up by the weak from my point of view. And another thing that I've come to realize, people have been calling me a pick-me. People have been calling me a mammy. People have been calling me just all of these derogatory names. And I've come to see that a lot of women use those terms when it's in reference to a woman being supportive of a man, knowing her role, the woman being in a submissive role. You know what I mean? And to me, that's toxic for you guys to even call women that are in cooperation with their men mammies or pick-me's or any kind of derogatory weak term. So yeah, I have noticed that as well on the female end. Thank you, Dizzy Dam. He says, much love. Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, Risky Biz, for your donation and also for being a channel member. He says, salute, King and Queen. Thank you for the knowledge. And I see Terenzo, you always show love as well, and thank you for being a channel member as well. He says, to catch a criminal, one must think and become a criminal. So to call another toxic is to also be toxic oneself. Psychology and word projections is nothing to fool with when life is literally a mirror. Interesting. 332 of us. Y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead, my love. I'm sorry for cutting your bill. Is that how y'all say it?
Yeah, nah, but I was just about to touch on a lot of people have an issue with man referring to himself as head of the household. And I see a lot of division in regards to what is meant by that. And another thing I want to talk about on that in regards to significance. Yes, head of the household. We talk about head, that means mind. But guess what you also have? You have heart. That's what the woman would be. The heart of the household. And the mind is not more important than the heart. And the heart is not more important than the mind. They both need each other. So once again, you fail. So when you think that I'm saying I'm the head of the household and I'm placing myself above the woman, incorrect. When I call her the heart, guess what? I can't function without that heart. I can't function without that heart. So again, that's another weak tactic that they try to utilize in regards to saying, oh, you placing yourself above the woman by calling yourself the head of the household. Y'all not understanding what is meant by head. And then y'all not understanding how we view the woman in that regard as well. So that's something that I wanted to touch on.
I love that. I never heard that before. The heart of the household.
I mean, that's what it is. Like logic. It's like head. Logic. That's what we associate with the head. Mind, logic, reason. That's what we supposed to bring to the household. That reason, that logic. Heart, you already know what comes with the heart. Emotion. And nothing is negative about emotion. That's what y'all bring to the table. That's the nurturing quality that y'all have. Utilizing that heart. That is what y'all supposed to bring to the table. That's what y'all supposed to bring, just like we supposed to bring that logic and that reason. That's how it's supposed to go. Complement one another that way.
And balance each other out, duality. You know, even, and I love that as well, because that also translates and transfers over to the children. When we have our children, you're going to be able to have that knowledge and teach them and lead them and guide them, and me too. And then, you know, you're going to be able to bring that logical perspective to them and bring that knowledge to them, while on the back end, I'm like, well, I'm coming through with being the nurturing one, being the caring one. So if daddy come through and he like, hold up, you got to do this, you got to do that, and the baby feels some type of way, that's when I come through with my heart, right? And I give him a little love, right? But at the same time, still as a woman, knowing my role and respecting my husband's role. So if my husband is coming from a standpoint of discipline or anything like that, me being the heart of the household, I have to also know how to have my emotions in check and say, okay, well, daddy said this. So even though mama probably want to come through and hug and kiss the baby and tell him it's okay, you got to stand behind the man as well. So I do like that balance of that, you know, the man being the head and the woman being the heart.
And it's all one body. So at the end of the day, it's all one. So you
Well,
got
you
the
just
heart,
got so many
you
bars.
got the heart, the mind. That's all one body. So it's no reason to separate it, and that's what we do. We separate. Again, that heart and that mind that I'm talking about, that exists within one body. So all is one at the end of the day. So we come together and we form that. The moment we start looking at things separate like that, creating that division, we fail. We fail. Like that. This head, this mind, and this heart that I'm talking about is all within the same body.
I'm gonna get them babies, Sister None. Okay. In due time, whenever the universe sees fit, right? Oh yeah, big bars. Facts. He on point. Facts. You guys liked the video. I see we had 368 of us. Y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're having a dope discussion, and we have a special guest, which is my beautiful husband tonight, Eric Bell. I will link his YouTube channel down in the description box, as well as his new book. You have a new book coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow is my love's born day. He's gonna be the big 30 tomorrow. You getting old, my love.
I'm getting young. I don't get old. Get wise. Get wiser. I don't get old.
We getting old, my love. Young and vibrant. You know, we get better with time.
I feel better than I did at 15, so I'm good.
Yeah, tomorrow is my husband's birthday, so he has a new book dropping tomorrow. What's your book?
Inner Mask is how to survive a pandemic. So it's letting y'all know how to survive this pandemic via nutrition. Real simple.
Okay, yeah. So it's called Inner Mask. I will link that down in the description box as well. You guys can check that out as well. My husband is a personal trainer, a nutrition coach, so he's very much so into the health and fitness aspect. We're vegan, so we try to eat right and practice a healthy lifestyle and give you guys some jewels and help with navigating through this life and this wicked world. You know, you gotta stay righteous, gotta stay healthy, and gotta stay, you know, on your square, right? So, as far as toxic masculinity goes, I will acknowledge that it is a such thing. Like you said in the beginning, it is a such thing as toxic masculinity. However, what I'm noticing is that women are flipping it and saying that toxic masculinity is just being a man. If you're being a man, if you're acting in your manliness, they're like, oh, that's toxic. And that's where I have an issue. To me, toxic masculinity is when you are being degrading towards women, disrespectful towards women. You place yourself above, you know, everybody and all things, and you know, you don't care about anybody but yourself, and you don't feel like women have a place, or you know, that's toxic masculinity to me. But a lot of you women out there, y'all are really going above and beyond, and to me, a lot of it does stem from this whole feminist movement. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Because it's a lot of women out there who complain about toxic masculinity, but then have no problem with placing the woman on a pedestal, placing a woman above the man, making the woman the one to be worshipped. A lot of women are complaining about toxic masculinity, but they want to be in that role secretly. How do you feel about that, my love?
Well, first off on that, I just want to say, like, as a black man, it's rough out here. And what do I mean by that? Just like what you said about toxic masculinity. Like, it's hard for us to be damaged. It's a lot of damaged black men out here. We done been through some of the same things that some of these women done been through. We done been molested and all that type of stuff, man. But like when we are traumatized and when we act out that trauma in our adult years, it gets labeled as toxic masculinity. No, that's a toxic individual that needs help.
Ooh.
But instead of striving to help that individual, which is what the woman would get, we don't get that. We get the terrible label as a toxic masculine male. That's what we get. We get bashed. We get bashed. No, that's a toxic individual that needs help. That's a toxic individual that needs help. I'm going to repeat that. That's what that is. The type of man that you just named, that's not a masculine individual. That's a broken, that's a damaged, that's a traumatized young man or older man, whatever the case may be, and he needs help. He needs help, period. It's a reason why he's acting the way that he's acting. And we not getting to the root of why he's acting the way that he's acting. Instead, we label it. We need to stop doing that, man. We need to stop labeling stuff like that, man. We need to get to the root of the issue. Just like if a woman came out and was acting a certain type of way, we going to try to get to the root cause of that. Ooh. It's a reason why these men are out here acting like that, man. And we can't ignore that. We can't ignore that. We got to get to the root cause. We don't do that. We just label them toxic. That's not, what type of change is that going to bring about? How is that beneficial? How is that productive for the black family structure by just labeling that man toxic? Man, that man has been through some things and he needs some help.
You know what? And thank you, Humble Warrior, for your donation. She says, I just want to wish a fellow Scorpio, your king, a happy early birthday. Thank you so much.
Right on.
401 of us in the building. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I think that is an excellent point. Excellent point that you just made. When it comes, and that's a double standard. You know, a lot of us women, once again, we want to complain about double standards until it, you know, benefits us. And then it's like, well, just get over it. You're a man, right? When women go through traumatic experiences and we're acting out and we're displaying these characteristics of a woman that is broken, or a woman that is angry, or a woman that is promiscuous, or a woman that's just all out here, we say, oh, let's help her. Oh, this is because she grew up in a household where she didn't have a father. Oh, this is because she grew up in a household and her mother wasn't the proper mother figure for her to have. But when it comes to men, it's like you're supposed to know better. Oh, we don't give a damn about how you grew up. We don't care about your mother being out of your life or your father not being in your life. We don't care about what you went through, what you experienced. You're supposed to know better as a man. There's no help being extended. And like my husband said, we go through the same things. The men grow up in the same households that we're growing up in, where it's dysfunctional, where they're witnessing the same types of relationships, the same type of treatment. They're in the same environments that we're in, but yet they don't get a pass. And I also feel for men, because I feel like you guys don't get a chance to show any kind of weakness. You guys don't get to show your emotions. Whenever you do that, you're weak. But whenever you suppress that because you're like, well, okay, well, that's viewed as weak if I act this way. Let me go above and beyond. Let me go to 10. Let me be angry. Let me be over the top. Let me be aggressive. Then that's toxic masculinity. But we don't take into account that you guys don't get a chance to be vulnerable. You don't get a chance to speak your mind or speak on your feelings or talk about how you feel or cry even, or be in your feelings in any type of way. So then we essentially are creating these very men that we're complaining about by telling them that they should suppress their feelings. And if you do express yourself in a way that is displaying any kind of emotion outside of being aggressive or angry, then you're weak. So what do we want, women? Do we want our men to be over the top and be aggressive and be angry? Because that's what we're telling them and teaching them as children, that classifies them to be a man. And if he cries or if he shows any kind of, emotion that is softer, then that's weak. Like, what do we want? There's no balance. And so this is why you get men that, they go above and beyond, and they are toxic. Because like I said, that does exist. But a lot of us women fail to realize that a lot of us are creating that. And it's not to bash women or try to blame us. I just want us to really take into account our role in a lot of things that we're talking and complaining about. How you feel, my love?
I mean, I'm pretty much in agreement with that. Cause again, like I feel like on that end, like I said, man, we dealing with toxic people. Again, the individual that you're talking about, that's not masculinity. When you break down the yin and the yang, the build and destroy, when you break that down, the feminine and the masculine, all this stuff that you talking about, that's not masculinity. That's just toxic person. So we need to just get to the origin of what is making that person toxic. And then in that regard, when you're talking about the women producing that, that's also another point that I tend to make. In one breath, y'all high and mighty talking about we got the womb. Without us, nothing would be in existence and things of that nature. Then when we strive to say y'all producing these men, then all of a sudden now it's a problem. Now it's a lack of a father. It's a lack of the man in the household, in their life and things of that nature. So it's like, that's not making any sense. In one breath, you making it seem like you don't need us. Then in the second breath, you like, well, it's this way because you're not here. So that doesn't even make any sense to me, man. So you acknowledging the fact that you need that man in your life, in the household, in order for everything to run smoothly. When we start bringing up these type of points. So it's like y'all subconsciously know what's up.
Right.
Y'all subconsciously know the truth.
Right.
And that's where a lot of this stuff stems from in the first place, man. Y'all subconsciously know the truth, and y'all angry at this stuff because of y'all experiences, which I get, man. I'm not mad at it, man. If you done dealt with 5 or 6 dudes and they done all treated you a certain type of way, then I can understand where some of that is stemming from. I'm not knocking it. But again, don't lump us all in that same box because you dealt with 5 or 6. It's way more of us out here than that, man. Don't lump us all in the box just like you wouldn't want to be lumped in that box. Just like you wouldn't want to be lumped in that box. Don't do that to all men out here. And again, we all damaged, especially black people in this particular country. So we all damaged, man. So we got to understand that. And the only people that can heal us is us. So we can't give up on each other like that, man. We can't give up on each other like that. We got to understand that we all damaged. We all have been through some type of trauma, and we going to need each other to get over that trauma, to get over that damage. We need each other, period.
Thank you, King Jaffe Joe. He says, happy birthday, King. Preach. Let the church say amen.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. 423 of us. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, you guys. I appreciate it. I saw another donation. Hold on. I don't want it to disappear. Thank you, Dizzy Dam, again. He says, your birthday is literally a day before my brother's. Happy birthday, King, bro. Big bro. Keep doing what y'all doing and love you both. Yeah. Black love is powerful and it's revolutionary.
Yeah, my boy Dizzy. Peace.
Dizzy Dam. Dizzy always been showing love. But yeah, that is toxic. And we do need each other to heal. We need each other to build. And that's why I have such a big problem with us attacking each other all the time. It's a lot of finger pointing and blaming, and the black woman did this and the black man, you did this and it's your fault. No, it's your fault. And we cannot build that way. So I love that you touched on that, the fact that it has nothing to do with femininity or masculinity. This is just a toxic, destructive person that had a destructive, toxic life or upbringing that needs help. And we need to be able to do that for one another. But my love, I got to go back to what I said earlier. Now, how do you feel about the feminists and the feminist movement and how that may have played a role in the destruction of us being able to build and need each other, and as far as women viewing any type of masculinity as toxic or degrading and anti-woman.
You asking me how do I feel about the feminist movement is what you asking for in regards to the role that it has played. I don't care nothing about the feminist movement, man.
Okay.
I don't care nothing about that, man. I don't acknowledge the feminist movement because that's some white folk stuff. When I fight for black people, I'm fighting for the black man, woman, and child. So I don't need to be associating myself with a feminist. When I'm fighting for black people, that's man, woman, and child. I'm fighting for the black man, I'm fighting for the black woman, I'm fighting for the child. So we already know what the feminist movement then contributed to. We already know the nonsense that it contributed to, all the division, the Willie Lynch nonsense. The Willie Lynch nonsense that has caused, like that division. So I don't even acknowledge them. They can get mad all they want. I don't even acknowledge them. They don't even deserve my time and energy. I'm not acknowledging that movement. Period.
Now,
that movement is not conducive to the to the overall health and well-being of the black movement that I'm representing, that I'm fighting for. That has no place in it. When I'm fighting for black people, they are included. I ain't just fighting for black men.
Let me read these before we get over. Thank you, Beats by Blessed Zone Out Music. Happy B-Day, King. Appreciate what you and your wife do. Thank you so much for your donation. I saw we had 430 of us. Y'all like the video. Thank you, Tavis. He says chemical energy matters.
That's my, yeah.
That's your man's too?
And man, old Beats by Blessed, whatever.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
They be chilling.
Did I get everybody else? Yeah, I got Dizzy Dam already. All right, so let me get into this. Oh yeah, it's fire. We spitting that fire tonight. This is why I get attacked a lot from some of these feminist women, because they feel like I am anti-woman, and I don't feel like I'm anti-woman. I love women. I love men. I feel like we're both needed. And that's why I could never call myself a feminist, because to me, calling myself a feminist would mean that I'm excluding the man. I'm not here to just big up one gender over the other. I'm able to acknowledge the fact that women have our powers, if you will. We have our significance, but so does the man. So I just don't feel the need to sit there and exclude the man and just big up the woman and say, well, it's all about us having our own identity and this, that, and the third, when our identity is the fact that we are a reflection of our men. You know what I mean? So when you take one from the other, it's that's when you have a lot of that division going on. And to me, that's where our households crumble. That's when our foundation begins to get weak, because you have women over here celebrating being a woman while at the same time bashing men. And a lot of women will say, well, no, that's not what feminism is about. It's about just, empowering women and showing that we have our rights too, and we're equal, and we have this, that, and the third. It's nothing to do with bashing men. But when you really see the women that are, participating in that, all they are doing is bigging up women and shitting on men. Excuse my language. That's all I see them do. So when they come back around to me and they start talking about, well, that's not what feminism is about, and we don't do that. Well, I beg to differ, because that's all I see women do is being divisive, doing the very things to men that they complain that men are doing to them. And I said what I said.
Like I said, y'all, if I start talking about the feminists, we'd get banned. So
okay, don't get me banned. I'm already shadow banned. I don't need to get banned no more.
I ain't gonna speak on that, because I don't care for them like that. So y'all know what I do this for. Everybody know the respect I have for women and black women in general. So everybody know the respect I have. So you can't label me anti anything that's dealing with a woman. Like I said, I'm fighting for my people. Woman is included in it. Everything I fight for, I'm fighting for her too.
Right.
Period. I don't need to separate it.
Right.
And I'm not talking down on a woman's rights and things of that nature. Like I said, that's included in the black struggle, in the black fight. So I don't understand that the need to subtract it from that and fight for it on a solo dolo basis. Like, nah, man, you need us to fight for that with you. We stronger together. So that don't even make any sense.
Now, my love, I'm getting ready to go there. Put you in a little hot seat for a second. Now, women are talking about we are equal to men. Let me just say, as a woman, I do not entirely agree with that. I don't feel like I can do the same thing, or the same things, rather, that my husband or any other man can do.
See, yeah.
I don't. I am not as strong as a man. I can be taller than him. I can work out more than him. He can be a twig, and that man will still have more strength and power than me. And I bet not try to act like I'm a man towards another man.
But that don't even make you less equal though. Like, that don't even make you less equal. So again, when people talk, I don't like that conversation.
No, I'm not saying that it makes a woman less. But I'm just saying we're not the same. Is what I'm trying to say. A lot of women trying to make it seem like we are the same as men, and we are not.
Well, to say that,
and I don't even want to be the same as a man.
That'd be foolish if just scientifically and biologically.
I'm equal to a man. We can do the same thing you can do. No, you can't.
You're not in tune with science if you think that. I mean, I don't even have to. That ain't even putting me on no hot seat. That's just scientific. You just study science, and you understand that we are nowhere near the same. you just study science on that.
I mean,
but again, it's not. Why would you want to do the same things that like it's some things that y'all do that I don't want to do. I don't want to witness giving birth. Like, I don't want to give birth. I don't want to do that. So why would you want to go out there and do all the heavy lifting that we got to do as men? Why would you want to do? Why would you want to break your back lifting stuff instead of letting that man do it? Like, nah, I'm good. Like I said, I don't want to give birth. That's not something oh man, I wish I could give birth. No. So I don't understand this fascination with striving to prove that y'all as strong as men and stuff like that, man. What are you gaining by that?
You don't want no period, my love.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to witness that. I don't want to experience that.
You want no cramps.
I don't want to experience none of that. Like, I'm not jumping out of my seat like, ooh, look, we could be pregnant. Like, I would not want to. That would not excite me. It would not excite me at all. So some of the stuff that these women are out here fighting for in regards to proving that they can do the same stuff as man, like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Why you want to prove that? Like, even just like sports, man. Why y'all want to go out here and try to play football and stuff like that, man? What's the point?
Women do not want to play football.
What's the point of, man, you'll be surprised. That think that they can go out here with grown men and go play football. Like, why would you want to do that?
Y'all got to stop.
I didn't even like that. I didn't even like it. When I had to play college, I didn't like that. So why would you want to go out there and tear yourself up like that? That don't even make any sense. But I've seen it and I've heard it. Been there, done that. Been part of arguments and all of that type of stuff.
Women, ladies.
So
nah. I don't care how equal you try to be to a man. You better not put on no damn cleats and a jersey and think you can go tackle a grown man. It is not the same. You will find out real soon that day on that field in 0.25 seconds. You are not the same as a man. And again, like my husband said, why would you want to be? That's the beauty of us being, different. I don't want to be the same as a man. I don't want to have to go out and work hard and, try to provide and protect. That's a lot of work. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go and I don't want to be a football player. I don't want to lift a whole bunch of weights. I don't want to be a firefighter. Like, women out here trying to do the most. Oh, I can be a firefighter too. I can carry a grown man too. I can run in a burning building too. I can carry a human being too. Like, girl, why would you want to? Let the men do that. What you doing, baby? Y'all laughing? I'm dead serious. Like, people be tripping, honey. I just cannot. You better not. You better not think you can go tackle a man. Girl, we want to play football with the men. And I did hear you talk about that a few years ago. They was talking about merging with men and women playing the same sports. Girl, Girl.
That's just one of the lanes where
Girl.
they trying to implement themselves, and it's just chill out, man. Just chill out.
Chill out.
Chill out, man. There's some things that's solely for women that I want no parts of. And I'm good. I'm good on some of the stuff that y'all do, man. I don't want to experience it. I don't want to witness it. I'm straight. So just leave some of the stuff that's for men. Just leave that for some men to do.
Yeah, and like I said, that's the beauty of life, us being able to have that duality and balance each other out. Like, yeah, it's certain things that women can do that men can't do and vice versa, but they're both beautiful and they're both important and they're both powerful. It doesn't make you less than, and to me, it in a way takes away the woman's role. It makes women neglect what they're supposed to be doing or what they're meant to do. If we're out here trying to essentially be men, who is being the woman? Who is taking care of the duties and the obligation and the responsibilities as the woman?
These men that they raise, these boys that they raising.
Oh!
Yep. But again, I'm not gonna talk about that.
Are you unspoken on it? You gonna talk about it?
I ain't gonna talk about that. Like I said, people don't want to see me get 1,000% raw, cause like I said, I be banned from everything. So I'm good, but y'all know what it is. People that know what I'm talking about.
No.
Nah,
Hold on, you just can't touch on. You just can't.
They know what I'm talking about.
No, you can't just touch on it and then leave it.
Nah, they know what I'm talking about.
You can't just. But see, my love, that goes back into what I said earlier. A lot of, and again, not all of us women, don't get it twisted, but it's a lot of us women out there that create the very men that we are complaining about. You're over here being the strong, independent, I don't need a man, displaying toxic femininity. Whole time you creating a docile young man that you are going to that another woman is going to have to complain about and deal with in her future.
Because you got to understand that that's exactly what's happening when you going out here striving to be that man, and you got a son or two sons at the crib. Somebody got to pick up that emotional slack, which is where you supposed to supply that. But now your son got to do that. Hence is what's making him what we would call soft or weak, which is what you would call him. Because he got to pick up that slack because you striving to be the man. So there is no femininity in the household, so he got to pick up that slack. That's what's creating that. Instead of you being that feminine aspect and then teaching him to be that man, letting him fill that void. You didn't fill that void, now he got to fill your void. And that's what's creating what we got now. Mm-hmm. And then they grow up and, like you said, complain about them and wonder how they got this way. And then don't even get me started on some of these women that be bashing these dudes in regards to them being absent in their lives. Like, I know a lot of cases to where some of these women use these children as a tool. Some of these dudes be striving to be in the lives of their children, but they ain't gonna tell that whole story. They ain't gonna tell that whole story. But when you just listen to that one side of it, then you like, man, these dudes trash. But when you get that other side of it, then you see what's really going on. So a lot of women don't be telling the truth in regards to these kids that they have by these so-called no good dudes. Some of these women be no good as well, but they not gonna admit that. And that's just an actual fact. You chose that dude. It's the reason why you attracted that dude to your life. So you
my love, you
wasn't
is
so
not.
righteous.
You is not gonna do
righteous.
this.
No, that's an actual
you
fact.
You is not gonna do this.
I'm finna hold everybody accountable.
You is not gonna do this.
It's the law of attraction. So we want to get all high and mighty and spiritual when it comes to everything in life except that. You attracted that to yourself. You attracted that to your life. You attracted that toxicity to your life. What does that say about you? And not only did you attract it, you accepted it, and you had sex with it, and you conceived a child with it. So what does that say about you? What does that say about your quality of being? So I don't want to hear that nonsense. Don't be blaming that dude for being absent when you chose that dude, when you had sex with him, when you had a relationship with him. Nah, y'all both equally trash and toxic. So I don't want to hear none of that nonsense.
Damn.
You just as accountable as that dude. So don't go bashing that father in front of that child, creating this cycle when you partly responsible for that. That's that 50-50 that y'all talking about that y'all don't want to admit to. So now all that bashing of the dude, that's garbage. And I done seen some of you single mothers in the way y'all be talking to these kids. I done seen that. This is the type of stuff that they don't document. But I done seen it due to my line of work. So I done seen that toxicity. I done seen how some of y'all single mothers that y'all Y'all like to brag and boast with that independent label, but I done seen the way that y'all treat these kids. I done seen the way that y'all talk to these kids. It ain't all righteous. It ain't all good. It ain't all right and exact. It ain't all pure. So forget all that, man. Forget all that. I'm holding everybody accountable. You chose that dude, and then vice versa. You chose that woman, black man. If you finna sit around here and bash women, you chose that woman as well. So y'all are partially responsible for it. So it ain't no sense of sitting around here bashing that man, bashing that woman. Nah, you chose that man, you chose that woman, and then you had sex with him and conceived. So nah, it's a little bit deeper than that, yo. You gonna hold yourself accountable. You gotta look in that mirror, look inside, look internally, look within. That's where the problem lies. So stop blaming that man, stop blaming that woman, and blame yourself.
Damn. My love, we did not need you to snap like that.
Somebody gotta do it, cause everybody I ain't got time for it.
So you mean to tell me that the women's that complain about these men's that's not raising their babies and how much they are trash and they dead beats and they ain't no good, you mean to tell me that's a reflection upon her?
Most definitely. If that child is around the woman 90% of the time because you done kicked the man out, where else is it coming from? And then you just bashing the dude around him, but then meanwhile, the whole time the dude striving to be in the life of that child. Man, I know a bunch of personal cases where that's the case. Where these brothers really would like to be in the life of that child. These ain't no bad brothers. And the woman is not allowing it. And then bashing the man in front of the kids. But the whole time, the daddy is trying to be present in the life. But meanwhile, they getting viewed as a deadbeat in front of the child. Child don't know the whole story. So that's another thing that we got to stop doing, man. I see a lot of women out here. Of course, it's not all. So don't come with that idiotic statement making it seem like I'm saying all women. No, it's not all. But I see a lot of women that's using these children as weapons. And that is not cool. That's not cool. So stop doing that. I see a lot of women doing that. And I'm focusing on the women here because I see that more so on the women end than the males end. I see a lot of women out here using those kids as a weapon, as a tool, because they know for the most part, man, these dudes be really wanting to be in the lives of these children. So they know that's the soft spot for some of these men. And they know that's the way to get back to some of these men by refraining them from seeing their child. And that's exactly what's going on in a lot of different cases. So we got to get the whole story. When these women out here bashing these dudes, you got to get the whole story. When they making it appear that this dude is a deadbeat, you got to get the whole story. Don't take it on Facebook value or face value. Get the whole story. Do the knowledge to that whole entire situation.
True indeed. And like the king said, that's toxic femininity. And let's not even go to the fact that a lot of women, and again, not all, but we gotta be real, you guys, because not a lot of women are speaking on this. Not a lot of people are speaking on this. And then when men do it, y'all want to call my husband. My did you say you display toxic masculinity?
Yeah,
Now, how the hell does my husband display toxic masculinity? This is the most fair and balanced man there is. But let's not go in on the fact that it's women out there that complain about having to do everything on their own, like you said, but then they take pride in doing it on their own. And they want the flowers and the roses and the credit and the appreciation and the applause for doing it on their own. So they will keep the father away and keep the father out of their life just so they can have the bragging rights to say that I'm a single mother and I'm doing it by myself and I'm independent. Well, you don't have to. Let's touch on that aspect, because there's some women out there that don't even have to be single mothers, don't have to be by themselves, or do it by themselves rather. And they choose to, but then complain about the fact that they're doing it on their own. Who's talking about that? Who's talking about the women that don't have to do it all by themselves? That choose to do it by themselves. And then want the credit for doing it by themselves when they don't even have to, because like my husband said, the father wants to be in the child's life. You just want to, hold the kids over their head for whatever reason. Maybe it's for child support. Maybe it's for government assistance. Who knows? But it's some women out there who are deliberately and purposefully holding the children away from their father and pushing away the help that they can very much so be getting. And then complain about it on social media. He a deadbeat. He ain't doing nothing. I'm so tired. I'm a single mother. I gotta do this shit by myself. I gotta take care of these kids and do everything by myself. But you have a willing father, but you don't want him to participate, but then you want to complain. Let's talk about it. Who's talking about that, my love? Who is touching on that?
Well, on top of that,
Is that not toxic femininity?
I don't even care to label anything toxic femininity or toxic masculinity. It's just toxic. But at the end of the day, even in that regard, this is stuff that I've observed and examined, analyzed. Like, you will get on social media and you will see memes of like black fathers talking about the stuff that they have done. Maybe buy their kids some Pampers, woo wah wham, just doing the same thing the independent woman would do. And what would the comments be? People were like, oh, he's supposed to get kudos for doing what he's supposed to do.
Right.
But when the woman does it, then they getting applauded, they getting all this credit. But when the man does the same thing, that I didn't see, because I've seen this. I've seen women be like, oh, so we supposed to be giving him all this credit for doing what he's supposed to do.
Toxic femininity.
Y'all post the same exact stuff, and y'all looking for all type of applause and rewards and credit, this, that, and the third. We do it, and then that's just what we supposed to do. Well, what y'all supposed to do?
Oh, my love just snapping tonight.
But I've seen that, and I don't necessarily if a black father out here is happy to have his child, and he's showing you, look, I'm buying a pound, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, that, and the third. Man, that ain't the time to shun that black man. That ain't the time to shun that black man, especially because the way y'all bashing, y'all saying that it ain't enough black fathers out here. So when you see a positive one, when you see a good one, man, don't shun them. So again, that's why I say it's lose-lose out here, man, because then the moment we go out here and we be proud black fathers, then we supposed to be that anyway. So it's like it's lose-lose for us. We promote fatherhood, then, well, he's supposed to do that anyway. Then we don't promote it, then it's like, well, he a deadbeat. So it's lose-lose either way you look at it for us, man.
Right.
But that ain't the time to shun that black man, man. He happy. He like, man, I'm in my child's life. And it could have easily been the other way around. So I'm happy to be out here buying Pampers for him because I know that this is rare in regards to the media.
Right. Now, my love, I gotta be fair too. It is some fathers that are Facebook fathers. Right? They only do it for the post.
Just like the women that do that. Just like the women that you talked about, they only doing it for the post. So it's always that other aspect to it. I'm not knocking that, but we don't be sitting around knocking the women. We let them have that on social media. We let them have that. We don't tell them that that's what they supposed to do. So a lot of that stuff is for show. But again, we got to understand we dealing with, I'm talking about the psychology behind it. Even if it is for show, that ain't the time to shun them and show that dysfunction in the eyes of everyone. See, we like to put all our stuff out in the open. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop. That's why everybody can take advantage of us. So when you see that person promoting that fatherhood, that black man promoting that fatherhood, that's not the time to bash him. That's not the time to bash him. Now, I'm talking about the psychological aspect behind it. So I don't even care if it's for show, man. That just ain't the time to be bashing another brother or another sister, period, man. That's a positive image, and we don't see enough of that.
Oh, that's fact.
So we need to see more positive images. So when we see them, that's not the time to bash it and then make it something that's negative. Because all you gotta do is turn on the news. You about to see a ton of negative images. Scroll down your social media. You're gonna see us bashing one another. So when you see something positive like that, don't shun them. Don't bash it. Don't shun it. Like, promote that. So and that's on both ends.
You're saying that even if it is a Facebook father or a Facebook mother, celebrate the imagery.
It's all about the symbolism. It's all about the symbol. We need to see more of that anyway. So promote that. I don't care. I don't want to look beyond the surface on that one. We just need to see that image more so people know that it's out here, man. And that'll help us. That'll help us heal, man, just to see that. But then when you see it and then see it getting bashed, look what you're doing psychologically. You got to think about what you're doing psychologically when a black man see that, and then they like, dang, they bashing him anyway. So it's like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. So you got to understand how that affects the whole. See, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Y'all know I'm a damn fool. That's right, you guys. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, hit that notification bell. I see we have 525 of us in the building. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My lovely, beautiful, intelligent, inspirational, motivational husband is joining us tonight. And we're talking about toxic masculinity and how a lot of women are out here misusing and misrepresenting the term, misconstruing the term, making manhood something to be attacked, making masculinity something that is anti-woman, and it's supposed to be in complement of what it is to be a woman. And I, as a woman, have a problem with it. And we need to change the whole conversation and perception of what it is to be a man, because a lot of us are bashing the very thing that a lot of us need. We need masculinity. We need masculinity from men. From men. We don't need women trying to be men. We don't need women trying to run everything. We don't need women to be strong and independent. We don't need that. We need that kind of behavior coming from our men, because they are the rightful leaders. They are the ones that are built for that. They are the ones that are designed for that. So, you know, with us attacking manhood in the way that we are setting ourselves up for failure, our children up for failure. Because if we're going to attack what it is to be a man, who is being the example of what it is to be a man? The woman? And if the woman is being the example of what it is to be a man, who is being the example of what it is to be a woman? So it's a lose-lose for everybody involved. It's a lose-lose for the men, because, you know, it's damned if they do, damned if they don't. It's a lose-lose for the women, because we're taking on roles that are not designed for us. And in the meantime, we're neglecting the role that is designed for us, leaving that role vacant. And then we're giving the children the wrong idea of what it is to be a man when they grow up, our sons, and what it is to be a woman, our daughters, when they grow up to be women. So now we're reversing roles, you know, and then we're creating more weak men that are looking for women to take care of them, to lead them, to provide for them, to protect them, because they are growing up accustomed in this household to where mama is doing it all. Then the young girls are growing up internalizing that, feeling like, well, that is my role. My mama did this. All the women in my family behave like this. All the women in my family were the providers, were the masculine role. They were toxic masculinity. Ooh. So maybe that's the way I'm supposed to behave as well. So we all lose. And this is why we have so much dysfunction and destruction within our households, especially within the black community. Anything you want to add, my love, before we get up off of here?
Nah, I mean, on that note, like I said, the women are basically becoming what they are bashing. So,
ooh,
that's simple. And that's everything in life. We become that which we complain about, and you becoming that which you are bashing.
Ooh.
So, we can analyze that on a bunch of different levels, but they simply are becoming what they are bashing.
So let's end it on this, my love. I want you to explain to us what we can do to resolve these issues, as far as, you know, establishing the roles in our households, as far as, you know, just whatever, as far as the family structure is concerned. What can we do in regards to this? What's the solution to this conversation?
You just said it, with establishing roles. Like I just said, we're in a role-less society right now. We don't think that there are any roles. Mm-hmm. So the first thing you got to do is establish the roles. It's what a man gonna do. It's what a woman gonna do. Then we got to get to the root cause of our trauma. So we got to focus on healing, man. It's like, again, I'm a personal trainer. So it's like, man, at the end of the day, if you toxic, then I got to start from the level of healing you. I got to get rid of what is causing that imbalance. So we got to start there. We got to get rid of what's causing the imbalance. We are all traumatized. Like I said, black people in this country, we all traumatized. We done all been through some things. So we got to get to the root cause of that instead of treating the symptoms. We got to get to the root cause of what's actually causing our trauma. What is actually causing us to be broken. We won't resolve anything if we don't get to the root cause of our problem. And it's gonna take man, it's gonna take woman, it's gonna take all of us to get to the root cause of this issue. And we got to come together on that level. We gotta heal one another on that level, and that's gonna come from a place of understanding. Instead of pointing the finger, nah, man, we gotta understand that that person is damaged, that person is broken. I'm damaged, I'm broken. We need each other to heal each other. Point blank, period. Don't be looking down on somebody if you feel like you up here and then they down here, man. They may need you at that particular point in time, and that's man and woman. That's man and woman. So we gotta heal, man. We need healing.
True indeed.
We need healing, man. That's where we gotta start from, man. So that's where we gotta start. Healing. We are traumatized, we are broken, we are unhealthy, we are toxic. And that's on a collective scale. Yeah. That's on a collective scale, point blank, period. So it's a lot of healing that must go on. And that's healing on a lot of different facets. And that, like I said, that'll be a whole nother spiel, whole nother video in regards to breaking that down. But we just got to focus on healing. That's where it's got to start, because right now we sick. Collectively speaking. Just because I may be healthy, she may be healthy, that don't mean my people are healthy. So I'm not separating myself from my people. My people sick, I'm sick. So I'm looking at it from that level. So I'm not separating myself from my people. So if y'all suffering, I'm suffering too. So we got to heal each other collectively, man. So that's where it's got to start.
Thank you, Daryl, for your donation. He says, Joe Eric starting to sound like Dr. Is it Khalid?
Khalid
Muhammad.
Muhammad.
That's what on your shirt.
That's the shirt.
A little bit. Keep it real. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. The energy from the ancestors coming through, my love. I love Dr. Khalid Muhammad. He be cracking me up. We always watch his speeches. Thank you. Who is this? I'm just gonna call you Church of Gains. That's a funny name. He says, without roles or rules, it would be chaos. We all have a purpose in life that we serve. You can't skip your lane because you will crash. Ooh, bars, big bars. Thank you, Black First. I like that name. He says, keep talking that talk with a fist, and you already know we will. All right. My solution to this problem is, in alignment with yours. I feel like we all do need to heal, and we all do need to have accountability, and it starts there. It starts with taking accountability and recognizing that you are sick and that you do have a problem. And a lot of us, we are deflecting, and a lot of us, we are pointing a finger and we're blaming. And I see that a lot, especially with women. Just to be honest, I see that a lot with women. It's always the man's fault. It's always because you failed us. A lot of women say, well, it's because the black man failed us. A lot of black women think that and they say that. And I can't entirely disagree.
I don't disagree with that at all.
But at the same time, we have a role as well. So it's about us all acknowledging our faults. We can't sit there and say, well, it's entirely the black man's fault or it's entirely the black woman's fault. Or men and women in general. We can't do that. We all play a role, and we all need to have accountability, do some self-reflecting, and and do the proper changes and adjustments so that we can progress and grow. But as long as we're going to constantly blame and point the finger and not take accountability and responsibility for our role, we'll never get anywhere. So we have to recognize that as a whole, like my husband said, we are not where we need to be. And what can we do to get there? But I'm going to tell y'all right now, bashing men for being men is not the answer. Bashing men for being men and then complaining about they are not the men that you want, or they're not men at all, it's not going to get us anywhere. We have to start dishing out solutions instead of complaining all the damn time. And that's all I see all of us doing, men and women. All we do is complain. You see how they act? Well, you see how they act? You see what they do? Well, you see what they do? Okay, let's acknowledge each other's roles, and then let's acknowledge our role into it and what can we do to fix it. Because we can't make anybody outside of ourselves do any better. All we can do is do what we need to do and hope for the best. And we said what we said. We big bars. But we getting ready to get up off of here, you guys. Thank you so much, my love, for joining us. My husband will be live tomorrow. I will not be going live tomorrow. I know we usually go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central. But I'm taking tomorrow off for the chocolate. I got to tend to the chocolate tomorrow. So I'll be taking the night off. But you will be going live in the morning.
Yeah, more than likely. just to promote the book. That's about it.
Yeah,
though.
so y'all make sure y'all check out his channel and also get his book. I will list it down in the description box. He has dope content as well. And it's his birthday. You gotta support the guy on his birthday. Like, come on, you guys. The big 30, like, come on. So we appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the beautiful donations, the beautiful words, the support. Your time is priceless. So we really do appreciate that. And we will see you guys in the next video. I will be going live again on Monday. So y'all come back on Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central, and we're going to have more dope discussions. But my husband, he will be live on his platform tomorrow. And again, I'll list that all down in the description box. But you guys, let's come together. You know, let's come together. Let's bridge the gaps. Let's grow. Let's evolve. That's the only way that we can really get to where we need to be as a people. We need our men, and men, y'all need y'all women. So let's just do it and stop complaining. All right? Much love and peace.